Welcome to Roadmap to 1 Million. My name is Stacy Zeal, and if you're looking to make more money, gain your time back, and rapidly grow your visibility so that you can impact way more people with your brilliance, you're in the right place. This podcast is your one-stop shop for turning your online business dreams into a reality. My main goal is to give women entrepreneurs just like you the marketing strategies, guidance, and expert insights you need to hit that $1 million milestone and beyond. Whether you're a coach, a consultant, or an online brand that wants to make a big impact, Roadmap to 1 Million gives you the actionable strategies and inspiration you need so that you can implement right away, no fluff, no fuss. So, CEO, are you ready to buckle up and accelerate your growth? Be sure to follow the show and let's dive in. Get ready to uncover your roadmap to 1 million. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Roadmap to 1 Million podcast. You know, my name is Stacy, and I have an awesome guest for y'all today. And today's episode, I'm super excited to talk about because this is a tool that I literally use at least once a week. I use it all the time, and I'm super excited to really start to spotlight some of the founders that have created just these amazing tools that help us as business owners find ways to add more ease to our life, to help us to gain time back, but also help us to stay on top of what we're doing. And so today we are talking to Nicole Barham, and let me read her bio before I bring her in, and then we're going to definitely have an amazing chat, y'all. So Nicole Barham is the founder and CEO of Design Your Wealth and the creator of the 5 Minute Bookkeeper. She works with women entrepreneurs, showing them how to go from being stressed out about business finances and scrambling at tax time to being on top of their finances like clockwork. She's been featured in Time, Essence, Black Enterprise, First for Women, and Medium, and on Good Morning America and The Breakfast Club, sharing her secrets to getting and staying on top of your finances in just a few minutes a day. And when I say to y'all, this tool literally takes 5 minutes, I am not kidding. Like, literally, I've timed myself using this tool, and it literally took like 4 minutes and 90, 59 seconds, something like that. So, like, it is very much legit. So, welcome to the show, Nicole. How are you today?
Thank you so much for having me, Stacey. I'm so proud, like listening to you talk about 5 Minute Bookkeeper like that. So I cannot wait to dive in.
I'm excited. I literally like this is one of those tools that I'm like, you just fall in love with it because it's so simple, it's
Yes.
so straightforward, and gives you such great information. So before we start talking about 5 Minute Bookkeeper, tell us a little bit about your journey from working a 9 to 5 and working that corporate side of things to becoming the founder and creating 5 Minute Bookkeeper.
Of course. So, like a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, I really wanted to create some freedom in my life when it comes to, taking care of my son, Brandon, who is autistic, right? And I had a 9 to 5, loved my job, right? Loved the mission. And but it was taking me so much time to travel to and from work. My commute was almost 3 hours round trip.
Ooh.
And yeah. And so it was hard on everyone. Brandon had to have therapy. If you know anything about children with special needs, they have different therapies. And we had to have like therapists coming into our home at night. And one day I was like, you know what? I really want to him to have his therapies at home. I want to be able to pick him up from school early instead of having him in aftercare, like, falling asleep by the time I get there. Sometimes he's sleeping. So he was really at the center of me wanting to be an entrepreneur, right? And so my background, like way back, is in accounting. And even though I was not really an accountant when I was working my 9 to 5, I still was a lover of numbers. I had used my own tools that I created to get myself out of debt, to be on top of my finances in a few minutes a day. And I said to myself, trying to figure out what kind of business would I want to start. And I thought about starting a bookkeeping business, right? And so I started to look for different tools, and I looked for, few platforms. I tried them out, and they just were not a fit for me, right? The tutorials were so long. And I'm like, there has to be a better way. I know how to create something really simple that does not take this long and that I can actually build for the entrepreneur, not for an accounting professional, right? So started to brainstorm. I want to work from home full time. I want to be with my son. And I want to also create something that, do something that I love and that's easy for me. I didn't want to go out to like learn a new skill. So anyway, that was how 5 Minute Bookkeeper started, where I was like, I want to teach entrepreneurs, um, how to be on top of their finances so they don't have to be scrambling at tax time and they can actually build financially successful businesses. I tried a business before, didn't work out, ended up filing bankruptcy. So I knew exactly how they felt when they were not on top of the finances and were just in the dark, right? So that's kind of how 5 Minute Bookkeeper was born, just out of necessity, I would say. And they say necessity is the mother of invention. I absolutely needed it myself, and I knew that other entrepreneurs would need it as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love your story because it really speaks to how you can actually just create the business that supports your life, right? Like our
Yeah,
lives come first. And I feel like there was a long time in which business had to come first or your corporate career had to come first.
yeah,
But now we're in this space where we're just like, I can actually use the knowledge that I have or use the skills that I've acquired working for somebody else, learning all the mistakes and doing that on their dime and actually be able to create something that can impact people. So I love, love, love all that. And I love that you created a tool specifically for entrepreneurs rather than accountants. Because I know that I've used some of these other big tools out here. I've used a ton of them because I've been a side hustler forever. So I've always had to have some kind of tracking system. But it wasn't until I literally watched the demo of 5 Minute Bookkeeper and I said, this is literally exactly what I need because
yes,
a lot of these other tools are overwhelming. I remember just like trying to use like QuickBooks and FreshBooks and just being like, I just want to see how much money I'm making. Like that's
exactly.
I want to know what's going out. And like so that I could forecast and I can see what's going on so I can know how to pay myself. Like I
Yeah.
just needed that. It was when I saw you do the demo, I literally fell in love with the tool. So talk to us about what the 5 Minute Bookkeeper is and how it really helps entrepreneurs to stay on top of their finances.
So 5 Minute Bookkeeper is literally a spreadsheet system. I call it a spreadsheet system on steroids, right? So when people hear spreadsheet, they think, oh my gosh, I hate spreadsheets. And I'm like, no, you don't hate spreadsheet. You hate the janky manual spreadsheets that you create yourself.
Exactly.
So, and I learned, it's so funny that you spoke about using the knowledge that you learned in corporate and incorporating, because I literally learned how to create spreadsheets and use Excel to like literally, look at data, like doing data analysis, all of that. So I'm like, oh, this is a breeze. I could just use this knowledge that I gained in corporate and, apply it to this system that I want to create, right? So just looking around, same thing like you, right? Looking around, trying to find this tool because I wanted to be a bookkeeper for entrepreneurs. And then, I was like, I can create something simpler,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that's when I started to look around, could not find anything. And you're right, the same thing that you said about well, I want to see what's coming in and what's going out. What's my profit or if there's a loss? How much can I pay myself? I don't want to be jumping through hoops trying to learn chart of accounts and trying to see this dashboard. Like, what's the dashboard? Nobody cares. Like, I really just want to see my numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that was kind of the inspiration for, you know, getting 5 Minute Bookkeeper. It's a spreadsheet system, very, very simple, right? It's funny how you watch the video and you're like, oh, this is exactly what I need, and you bought it. Some people look at it and they're like, oh, it's a spreadsheet system. I can create one myself.
I don't want to. Why would
Like,
I need
no,
to?
you
It's
don't.
already created. I don't need to because you've already created it. I mean,
Exactly.
I think that that speaks sometimes to our mentality as like, business owners. Like just because you can build something doesn't mean that you need to. Like, and I'll
Absolutely.
even like, for in my business, I remember like, so I use Airtable and Excel for my spreadsheets. And I mainly use Airtable for content creation. And I was trying to set up this table and I just was like, okay, let me try to do this. Let me try to do that. And then I finally had to just like go to my assistant and be like, do you know how to use Airtable? She's like, yeah, I'm an Airtable pro. Like, why did you ask me from the beginning? Why would
Exactly.
need to know how to use Airtable to the, I don't need to be an Airtable expert. I just need to know how to see my numbers or to see what I'm looking at.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
we always try to make it more complicated.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the thing about me is that I am not a DIY person. If you
Mm-mm.
know me, I literally pay somebody else to do almost everything in my business, right? Because, there are other people out there with the expertise. I know a few things and I'm really, really good at them. But the things that I'm not good at, I hire people to do them for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the same thing. It's like, even though 5 Minute Bookkeeper is a DIY system, And it's so easy that a lot of entrepreneurs have bought it, have used it. It's been amazing. But there's some people who are like, this is very easy. I know it's easy, but can you do this for us? And we do that too and use our system to do bookkeeping.
Mhm.
So, just saying this to say that we are, it's just a simple system that I don't believe there's anything else out there that's easier when it comes to keeping track of your finances. And
Mhm.
you can use it for so much more. You can use it for forecasting, goal setting, keeping track of your owner's draw. Sometimes you pay yourself and you're like, I have no idea how much I paid myself the whole year,
Yeah.
right? You can keep track of that too. We incorporated profit first. So if you want to follow that model, it's in there. It's already built in. So it's so many things that we thought of and that our clients have asked us to do, and it's really really helped. Sometimes I have a client who runs $1 million company and uses 5 Minute Bookkeeper.
Are you a CEO with an amazing one to many offer who's tired of creating endless amounts of content that is not helping you hit your high revenue goals? Well, look no further than Maximize with Ads. Maximize with Ads is designed to help you exponentially increase your sales, rapidly grow your visibility, and gain your time back by leveraging the power of Facebook and Instagram ads. From developing a scalable Facebook ad strategy to setting up your tech to targeting the right audiences and creating irresistible ads, we've got you covered. Plus, our private support community is always available to answer your questions and provide personalized feedback. If you're ready to stop spending all your valuable CEO time creating endless amounts of content and start executing a leveraged strategy that allows you to travel the world, pay for private school, or start living the life you started your business to live in the first place, then head over to maximizewithads.com to enroll. Visit maximizewithads.com to learn more and get started today. All right, let's jump back into the episode. I love that because it like as a user of it, I definitely can see how it has grown with me as a business. Like the spreadsheet itself has not changed, but maybe I need to add a couple extra lines in there now because I'm like, use up all the lines. But for the most part, regardless of how much money I make, it's still such an easy system to be able to just say like, okay, what's coming in, what's going out. I remember this past tax time, my bookkeeper, the person who files my taxes, I sent him my P&L statement because there's a profit and loss statement built right into the 5 Minute Bookkeeper. So you can see everything on a month to month basis, but then it rolls up into a yearly look. And I'm like, and I'm also like, who would want to build this? Like, I already know it probably took you a minute to build this.
It did.
Just like every time, like when I just copy and paste stuff in there, I'm like, it just does its thing. And I like every time I go to a different tab, like it's there. And so my tax person actually was just like, this is like, this great job on categorizing your expenses this year. And I was like, oh, I was on top of it. Like, I just felt so good to
Yes.
be able to be like, okay, my spreadsheet's up to date. And it's funny because I was even like, I signed up for 5 Minute Bookkeeper a little bit ago, but I had kept paying QuickBooks because I just was like, just in case. I was like, just in case I need something else. And I realized I'm like, I was wasting $30 a month for a system I didn't even log into because I was afraid that this was just too easy for me to be able to do what I needed to do.
Yes,
But
I think
really,
that's it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
catch up to thinking like, okay, there has to, I'm probably something's going to happen. I'm going to need, some more in-depth reporting, but I really haven't, to be
Yeah.
honest. And so what are some of those other, like, what are some of the challenges that business owners are facing right now with their finances, and how does 5 Minute Bookkeeper help them to overcome those things?
Okay, so now, some people will say we're in a recession, right? I've seen where I've had clients who have, their business just, they just decrease in their income, or some people had to go back to find a job, right? A day job. And I've seen where a 5 Minute Bookkeeper has helped them to literally look at their financial snapshot, right? The financial picture and say to themselves, you know what, this is not sustainable. I either need to make more money in my business because I'm running at a loss every month, right? Or I need to go get more clients, whatever it is, I need to pivot. So the numbers, Stacey, it's not just for bookkeeping and taxes, even though I talk about that a lot. Your numbers tell the story of your business, right? And you can literally take a look at it and say, okay, so my business is not growing, or it is growing, or, you know, year over year or month over month, this is what's happening with my numbers. This is how much profit or loss I'm making. I think it's probably time to do something else, right? So the numbers can really help you to make those financial decisions in your business as opposed to, just doing the bookkeeping and stuff like that, or not doing any bookkeeping. And then you get to the point, which happened to me over 7 years ago, you get to the point where you're like looking around and you're in so much debt, right? Because your company has been losing money for months and months and you were just not paying attention,
Mhm.
right? So 5 Minute Bookkeeper literally helps you. And as you mentioned earlier, there's a month over month view, right? So the P&L shows you your monthly totals, your monthly summary. So you literally can compare each month to see what's happening in your business. What does your revenue look like? And then you can see your year to date, all of that. And that, as I said before, really helps you to make decisions in your business as to, should I continue this business? Should I pivot? Should I do something else?
Yeah. Yeah, those are great points for sure. And one of the things you like said that I want to definitely make sure I hit home is that you said that your numbers tell the story of your business. And I think that
Yes.
that is just so key for us to understand. And because as entrepreneurs, when we're building our own stuff, like Erica Badu says, I'm an artist, so I'm sensitive about my shit. So it's like when we
Yeah.
are this close to our business, the numbers can make us feel emotional. But when
Yeah.
you can see everything on the spreadsheet, you can see what actually, like, how much you're paying your contractors, how much you're spending on advertising, how much you're spending on all these different things. You can really start to take the emotion out of it. I know for me, like,
Yes.
I have a task on Mondays or my CEO days, and I always have a task that says update 5 Minute Bookkeeper. And I always make sure that I do that because it's easy to get attached to the numbers. I mean, to get emotionally connected to what's going on in your business. But when
Yeah.
you could really just take a look and say, like, okay, what are the numbers actually telling me? Like, do I have money to invest in this coach that I want to invest in?
Yeah.
And not just guessing, right? Not just like, oh, I think I have, $3,000 coming in next month. Like you would actually be able to know, or you'd actually be able to say, like, hey, I had a surplus this month, so maybe I can go ahead and take some of that money and invest it in advertising or invest it in other things. And I love that it also shows you really kind of broken down like what you're spending your money on. I know that was a
Yeah.
big one for me. I was looking at, I'm like, I have spent a lot of money on professional development. and,
Same here.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's not that those things are bad to do, right? But it's like one of those things that's like, okay, I've spent a lot of money on coaches and professional and buying tools and buying all these things. Let me actually make sure I've executed all these things. I've implemented
Yeah.
this stuff before I go and sign up for another thing. Or even like I remember, like even last month, I was thinking, I was trying to figure out when I was going to purchase something because I'm like, I knew I had the funds, but I was like, when am I going to actually? When does it make sense for me to actually buy this?
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I have all these other, expenses that are going out. Things are, are going out, and I want to hit my numbers every month. And so I've been using 5 Minute Bookkeeper for that, to just be able to be like, okay, well, now I should maybe wait till July to make this investment,
Yeah.
when I have a fresh set of income coming in, so that I can end the month at the numbers that I want to end it at. And
Yeah.
I also love that, like, I feel like I'm going on I love what I love about 5 Minute Bookkeeper,
I
because I
love
really do love
the
the
things
tools
I
that
love
we
about
have.
5 Minute Bookkeeper.
Right. Like literally, that's probably, I should have wrote that out as a question. Stacey, just say what you love about 5 Minute Bookkeeper. But the other thing I wanted to call out is that it's Profit First is built in. And if
Yeah.
you have not read Profit First, that was another book for me. Cause like for me, y'all, I'm a marketer, I'm a communicator. Numbers are not my thing. I got a C- in accounting in college. And I was like, whoa, that's a passing grade right there. I was like, oh, so for me, if I can make something easy, like I have to find a way to make it easy. If I'm going to stay on top
Yeah.
of it, so like having my, Asana tasks that tell me to update my 5 Minute Bookkeeper, having the spreadsheet where it's so easy, so simple to use, not having to funk around with a bunch of different apps and finding this and finding that. Like it's really just a straightforward. This is your numbers.
Yeah.
Those things just are so invaluable when you're thinking about saving time as an entrepreneur. Even like, of course,
Yes.
making more money, yes, but even like saving time, I think is something that it also helps with. So,
Yeah.
what is your ultimate vision for the 5 Minute Bookkeeper? Where are you going with this? Because I know you have big dreams and big visions, and I love to have people on here who have big dreams and big visions that are literally going to change the world. So, where are we
Yeah.
going? Where are you going? What's the roadmap for 5 Minute Bookkeeper?
So 5 Minute Bookkeeper is actually in development for our own software,
Yeah.
right?
Come on, software.
And we are, it's going to be the exact same interface because that's what really has sold so much, so much. And we haven't even talked about how much, we grew from zero to a multi six-figure business in
Yeah,
years, right?
yes.
So
We
it's
definitely did
the
that.
reason, the same way that you were talking about 5 Minute Bookkeeper, and that's the reason why most of our clients love it so much. The interface, the ease of use, just I don't want to spend a ton of time. I just want to see what's coming in, what's going out, where am I at, right? So we're building the software as we speak, and it's going to be the exact same. I said to the developers, it has to be the exact same look or feel because
Mhm.
that's what really made my clients love it so much, right? So that's number one. Um, Number two is that we are now doing, and listen, some people don't want to do their own bookkeeping. Some entrepreneurs do not want to do their own bookkeeping. So we're expanding our done for you services
Okay.
where we're doing bookkeeping for our clients. And we're also offering weekly bookkeeping. So I don't know if you know, but most bookkeepers, they just do like a monthly bookkeeping. And then by the next month, like, so for January, you'll see your numbers by the 15th of the following month. Some people are okay with that, which is fine. But I believe that in order to really run your business by your numbers, you have to see that weekly,
Mhm.
no question, right? So we're offering our clients weekly bookkeeping so that they can see where they're at least once a week.
That's
So
awesome.
we're doing that. So and we have like, I'm doing coaching, business coaching, and everything that I do incorporates 5 Minute Bookkeeper
Mhm.
because it's my foundation. It's really and truly any business can use it, whether you're just starting out or you're a smaller business or a bigger business, just being able to see your numbers. It's just so important no matter what size or what stage of your business you're at.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so it's so important. And I'll say like because like I started using it when I was barely making any money in my business, to be honest. I was like, okay, because I just like for my brain's purposes, I was like, I cannot get with QuickBooks. Like I've tried to do it, I've watched all the YouTube, and I'm a very tech savvy person. Like I very much can pick up a tool very easily. But when I think about how my brain works and how I lean more into communication and visuals than it is numbers, just
Yeah.
even being able to visually see the numbers is just really
Yes.
impactful for me and helping me in the way that I learn. And I love that you mentioned that you're, offering the weekly bookkeeping because honestly, like I check my 5 Minute Bookkeeper every week, to be honest. Like I said, I put it on my to-do list every Monday. And it does help me to be able to see, like, okay, like as I was mentioning, like, maybe this week I won't buy that tool that, that I need. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll wait a couple weeks when I know I have another, deposit coming in.
Yes.
And so it really does help to kind of like make sure that you're on top of things every week. So I definitely recommend like no matter where you're at in business, whether you're just starting out or you're growing, scaling, and you just even if you have a bookkeeper and you just want to see how what your numbers are doing, like because that's
Yeah.
impactful as well. So
Yeah.
I love all that you're doing. And so I want to talk because everybody on this listens to this podcast. They're like, okay, Stacey, how do I become the 5 Minute Bookkeeper? How do I get to my business to be where you're at? Because you have grown from zero to multi six figures in just a couple years. And that is
Yeah.
commendable. That's amazing. And that's really a testament to how fantastic the product is.
Yes.
Because I tell people, like, your marketing can be, if you have an amazing product and shaky marketing, you'll be able to be successful. And once you just tighten that marketing up, everything is just gonna like
Yes.
skyrocket because people at the
Hmm.
end of the day want an amazing product and they want to have an amazing experience. So when you think about your marketing advertising, because I know that y'all run ads and stuff like that, what is that role, what role do you see as advertising and investing in advertising as a multi six figure CEO in helping you to get to that $1 million and multi-million dollar mark?
Yeah. So, um, you mentioned that you can have a product that's great and not do too much marketing, and then still make money, which is what we did because we were like so consistent, right? We're
Mhm.
like, okay, we're gonna just hit it hard with Facebook and some Instagram and just keep going, 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 right? And you followed me or you see me online all the time, Stacey. We're always posting or because a lot of times people forget about you, right? If you're not in their faces all the time, which is the reason why you see so many ads. Some multi-million dollar companies, they're still placing ads. And you might be wondering, like, why are they placing an ad? I know this brand. They
Mhm.
remind you, right? So we spent years and years just being consistently in people's faces and be like, you need your bookkeeping, you need to be on top of your finances, you need to file your taxes on time or you're going to pay penalties and interest. And so we started to hit those pain points really hard. But then at a certain point, you want to reach a wider audience, right? You're not going to have all your followers on Instagram or all your friends on Facebook be your only target audience, right? There's like a huge world of other people out there needing your help. And so that's when we started to lean into paid ads, where we had, we were running ads, building, getting more leads, building a bigger audience. And so that's hugely important because you could be the best kept secret. Like you could have an amazing product, but if nobody knows about it, then it's just an amazing product that you and a few of your friends are using. And so we think it's super important. We actually have a new demo video that we're bringing out next week, actually, that we're going to be running ads to as well because the tax extension season is coming up. And so we're, the same ad or the same demo that Stacy watched, we're kind of revamping it and make it even better, right? Adding some testimonials in the video, stuff like that. And so we'll be running ads to that, just retargeting people who are on our list already and all the fun stuff that FB ads or IG ads have you do. So yeah, you have to get out there and at some point you can grow to a certain point organically and all of that, but at a certain point you have to implement a strategy where you run ads so that you can get your message and your products and services out to like a wider audience.
Yeah. Yeah, those are such great points. And like, I want to reiterate those things. Like the ability to show up consistently, to show up all the time is very invaluable to you as an entrepreneur. And that's something that these larger brands know. Y'all know who listens to podcasts, y'all know I worked at Zappos and my job was paid social, like period. Like we had a 30 people marketing team. And it was myself and one other person that was specifically like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads. We had a whole other team that was focused on like Google, like maybe it was like 4 or 5 people that are focused on Google ads specifically. And so even if you are a very large brand, or even if you are seeing success organically, you're going to hit a ceiling if you're not advertising, because that's just how these algorithms work on the platform. They're designed to show you friend of a friend of a friend. They're not designed to show you stuff from across the world. And I would even say, like, speaking to just being consistent also, when I just did a recent launch, I was running ads to my warm audience because I was doing my 2 posts a day, but I'm not doing 7 posts a day. I'm not creating 15 reels. Like that does not work for me. And so I'm like, you mean I could just run an ad to my existing warm audience and just get them to sign up for my webinar and only spend like, $5 or $10 a day to just get them to sign up? Absolutely. And retargeting existing people who've been on your list, who've seen who are, email inboxes are crowded, but they're always on Facebook. They're always on Instagram. So those are just such great things. And then the last point you made was about not being the best kept secret anymore. And I think that speaks so much to our audience who is listening to this, because a lot of y'all out there want to make a big impact. Like you have a skill set, you have a business, you have a knowledge base that you can use to really transform people's lives, but you're not thinking big enough with your marketing, right? You're just only seeing what's in front of you, and you're not tapping into the opportunity to get your products and your services and your offers in front of people who aren't connected to you, to a friend of a friend, who don't have no idea who you are, but are searching for someone to explain finances like you, right? Like, I mean, like I said, I've been an entrepreneur for years. I've been a side hustler for years before I came across 5-Minute Bookkeeper. And now I'm just like, I need to tell everybody about this. Like, because I'm like, it just works so well for my type of brain and how I work and how I process things. And it's really, really been super impactful for me. So thank you so much for coming on the show today, because I think it's just been so great to just kind of talk about finances and help people to really understand why it's important, but then also letting them know that there is a tool out there that can make it simple. So if you're someone who is struggling to stay on top of your finances, you're struggling to stay, up with QuickBooks and all the updates that they're doing, or all the other tools out there, definitely make sure that you head over to stacyzeal.co/5minutebk. And there you'll be able to watch the demo for 5-Minute Bookkeeper. You'll be able to, go to the show notes if you want to get that link again. But again, it's stacyzeal.co/5minutebk. And you'll be able to go over there, like I said, watch the demo, get all the information about Nicole and all that she's doing. So again, thanks for coming on the show. Let us know how we can connect with you, how we can stay in touch with this amazing empire that you are building that I know is going to be, is literally going to change the world. And I'm so excited to be able to watch the journey. So let us know where everybody can connect with you with.
Thank you so much for having me, Stacey. And thank you for saying that. Yeah, we really are working on the empire. So you can follow me on Instagram at 5 Minute Bookkeeper, or on Facebook, facebook.com/N for Nicole, A for Apple, Barham, my last name. And that's where I hang out most of the times. That's where I share a lot about my business and finances and bookkeeping and all the fun stuff that entrepreneurs don't love about their businesses.
And let me tell you, you make it very approachable and very digestible. I will say that.
Yes.
And then I think that it also lends itself to why the tool is so simple and easy to use, because you just are very like, this is what it is. This is what you need to do. You don't need to worry about all the fluff and all the extra stuff. This is just what it is. So I love that.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, y'all. So make sure y'all go to the show notes to check out the 5 Minute Bookkeeper demo. If you need that link again, it's staceyzeal.co/5minutebk. And that'll take you over to Nicole's website and it'll get you the demo so you can watch that. And you'll be blown away like I am. You'll be like, I can't believe that I just didn't have this in my life before now. So make sure you head over there. Make sure that you are subscribed to the show and let me know what y'all think about this episode. We are looking to grow the show and looking to really kind of bring on entrepreneurs and founders that are doing amazing things. And so I would love to know if this is something that you're interested in, or if this is a series that you really want to follow. Let me know in the comments or let me know in the reviews, and I'll make sure that we get some more interviews for you. So thanks, y'all. I'll catch y'all next week. OMG, that episode was packed with gems. Are you ready for more? Head over to staceyzeal.co/podcast to get the show notes and to sign up to get our top 5 podcast episodes to help you streamline your marketing so you can make this your $1 million year. Head over to staceyzeal.co/podcast.